Do you have a dog that's constantly scratching, biting, or licking their skin? Chances are your vet has prescribed Apoquel. It promises fast relief, but here's the truth. Apoquel doesn't fix the problem. It simply masks the symptoms, and in some cases, it can make your dog's health a lot worse in the long term. Today, I'm going to explain why vets hand out Apoquel so often, what it really does to your dog's body, and most importantly, how proper nutrition and an elimination diet can address the root cause once and for all so your dog can finally heal. Let's start by understanding why Apoquel is prescribed so frequently. Many vets are simply overworked. They see dozens of patients every single day, often with only 10 to 15 minutes per appointment. When a dog comes in with severe itching, hot spots, or recurring skin infections, writing a prescription for Apoquel is the fastest way to give relief. It's also a bit of a system problem. Most veterinarians receive limited training in advanced nutrition and long-term allergy management. So when faced with a dog that's itchy, the quickest option is simply medication, and the same happens when you go to your doctor. This isn't blame, it's reality. Vets are doing their best under time pressure, but this default approach creates a cycle where dogs remain dependent on symptom masking medication instead of addressing the root cause of the itching. Now, what does Apoquel actually do? Apoquel is an immunosuppressant. Technically, it blocks certain signaling pathways in the immune system that cause the itch. That's why it works so quickly. Sometimes dogs stop scratching almost overnight. But here's the catch. Blocking these signals doesn't fix the underlying problem. It's not curing the allergy, gut inflammation, or food sensitivity. It's simply turning off the symptom. Because Apoquel, what it does is suppresses the immune system. Your dog is more vulnerable to infections and possibly long-term health complications. Most owners see the scratching stop and assume the problem is solved, but the fire is still burning under the surface and the underlying triggers remain untreated. And guess what? If you do this for a very long time, you aren't going to be helping your dog because your dog cannot be on perpetual medication. Now, before we delve into some solutions, let me clear up some common misconceptions around allergies and medication. First, the idea that grain-free diets prevent allergies is largely a myth. While some dogs definitely benefit from avoiding certain ingredients, most skin allergies are triggered by protein quality, inflammatory fats, or gut issues, not grains. This is not to say that I like grains in pet food, because I don't, but it's simply a matter of low quality food. Second, a shiny coat doesn't mean a dog is healthy. Your dog may look good on the outside, but chronic inflammation or gut dysbiosis could still be happening internally. And third, the long-term use of Apoquel or other medications might give temporary relief, but they do not solve the problem. Owners often rely on them thinking there's no alternative, but there is, and it starts with nutrition and it saves you a lot of money. So what's actually causing these skin problems? Usually, it's a combination of factors. The first one is poor protein quality. Listen, even foods labeled high protein or veterinary prescription can contain proteins that aren't digestible or lack essential amino acids, leaving your dog's body way stressed. We also have hidden carbs. Many kibbles contain vast amounts of corn, rice, peas, or potatoes. These carbs are simply too much for a dog. If you think your dog is going to be okay on a diet of 50+% highly refined carbohydrates, you should probably think again. Which leads me onto over-processed food. Ultra-processed kibble. Heat processing destroys enzymes, antioxidants, and important micronutrients. Let me ask you something. If all you give your dog is a diet of ultra-processed food, what do you think it's going to happen in the long term? I'm sure that not everything you eat is ultra-processed, so why should your dog? We also have things like environmental triggers. Pollen, dust mites, and mold often compound the problem and can exacerbate it. And gut microbiome disruption. A stressed or imbalanced gut can cause an overactive immune system, which manifests as itchy skin, hotspots, or allergic reactions. I'm going to say something very controversial. Dogs are biologically built to thrive on meat-based diets when the majority of their calories come from processed carbohydrates and low-quality proteins cooked at very high temperatures and put in kibble form. The immune system becomes overstimulated, leading to the symptoms you are currently seeing. Nutrition here is the key to long-term healing. High quality digestible protein supports a healthy skin barrier. Omega-3 fatty acids and antioxidants, for example, will reduce inflammation. Removing unnecessary fillers and hidden carbohydrates will reduce gut stress and will help regulate your dog's immune system. The good microbiome here is pivotal. Beneficial bacteria will help modulate the immune system. When you feed a diet that supports gut health, balanced proteins, healthy fats, and maybe some fiber from digestible vegetables, their immune system calms down, inflammation decreases, and the skin can heal naturally. And this is not theory. I've seen thousands of dogs show dramatic improvement within weeks of switching to a species appropriate diet. And this is where my DIY dog food guide comes in. It gives you the tools and it puts you in control over your dog's diet. The thing you want is traceability of ingredients whenever you have a dog with a potential allergy. If you do not know what you're giving your dog in terms of meat and animal derivatives or animal fats or corn protein meal or things that are very, very vague, you will not be able to know what's causing the itchiness. When you source your own dog food, if you are that way inclined, which is not for everyone, you'll be able to see what you're giving the dog. And I'm pretty sure that the quality of ingredients that you are going to be providing your dog with will be a lot better than the kibble you are currently feeding. But let's delve into the elimination diet, which is, in my view, the best way to identify food triggers. And this is how it works. Imagine you have a baby with a lactose intolerance. What do you do first? You always read the labels on the back and you try to see if there's anything that is potentially allergic to the baby. So with that in mind, we are going to start with a single novel protein your dog has never eaten, paired with a simple digestible carbohydrate. Step number 2, feed this exclusively for 4 to 6 weeks and carefully track reactions. And 3, we slowly introduce other foods one at a time, noting any flare-ups. This process will allow you to pinpoint exactly which ingredients might be causing inflammation. Yes, I understand. It requires patience and consistency, but the results are real healing, not a temporary band-aid. We want to get the dog off of Apoquel. We want to give the dog fewer and fewer medications. We do not want our dogs to be on medication forever. That's absolutely ridiculous and not very good for the dog. So I do not want your dog to be on perpetual medication. I want you to start paying attention to what you give your dog. Corn, wheat, barley, corn, soy, things like meat and animal derivatives, animal fats, sugar, sorbitol, which is another form of sugar in pet food, highly refined carbohydrates. These things have real consequences. Even if your vet has prescribed you a veterinary prescription diet, my advice is ignore it. Absolutely ignore it. Those foods are still ultra processed. They lack protein and the ingredients aren't very good. You only have to check them yourself. You do not have to accept chronic itching or lifelong reliance on Apoquel. With the right nutrition and elimination diet and guidance, your dog can finally experience true relief and long-term health. And if you're that way inclined, the DIY dog food guide gives you a complete framework for this process. It empowers you to take control of your dog's health, avoid unnecessary prescriptions, and address the root cause of skin issues safely. Remember that chronic skin problems are not just normal dog life. This is absolutely ridiculous. You can take control today. Feed your dog high quality nutrition. Check ingredients for everything you give the dog. Follow an elimination diet. And please give them a chance to heal naturally. I understand that pet food is controversial. What you or anyone thinks is good, I might not agree with, but I want you to start asking questions. I want you to start tracing ingredients, and irrespective of your beliefs, I want you to take a very dedicated approach to this, because your dog simply cannot be on perpetual medications forever. That's not enjoyable. It's not enjoyable for you, and it's not enjoyable for your dog. I created a full seminar on allergies, and I'm hoping YouTube is going to recommend you that one here.